Nice to be here, especially because I was supposed to be here a couple of weeks ago, and I got bumped. You know what that is? That's when you're supposed to be on, but they run out of time, so you don't get on. That's when you find out who your friends are. Because somebody always calls you the next day and says, "Gee, you were great last night." Boy, that makes me mad. It happened the last time I said, "Mom." Watch the show. And I missed the Pope. The Pope was in town. I wanted to talk to him. He called me. I was out. I called him. He was out. Playing phone tag. I always love that scene where the Pope gets off the plane in a country, and the first thing he does is he kisses the ground. Of course, this year he did it for real. He was flying Delta. Oh, come on, I kid. Come on, that's a scary airline. I was at the Delta counter. On the message board, they have arrivals, departures, odds. I kid the airlines, I kid the Pope. You know, I thought it was so fascinating when the Pope was here because the friction between, the people in this country, they want changes, and the Pope is the Pope. I mean, what do they expect the Pope to do? It's his job to be conservative. He's the Pope. They expect to see a headline the next day, Pope reverses himself. Call sex, lots of fun. But a lot of the priests want to get married now, which is kind of a big thing. And some of them just want to get married. There's one priest who said, "I just want to get married. I will never have sex with my wife." So he's marrying a Jewish girl. So, please, just a joke. I kid. See, I'm half and half. I can make those jokes. I'm half Jewish. My mother is Jewish. My father is Catholic. And so I was raised Catholic, which I don't understand why people want so many changes in the church. I think they're modernizing. Some of the things are amazing. For example, when you go in communion now and you get the wafer, they also have a salad bar. And for confession, they have an express line if you have 6 sins or less. And I used to love that confession when I was a kid, because you go in there, you could be honest. Nobody would hit you. Be honest. I was too honest. The priest told me, it's good to be honest. Don't bring snapshots. Because, when you're 7, what can you confess? Half the commandments don't even apply. Yes, your father, I was having adultery with my neighbor's wife. I can't wait to find out what that means. But I didn't understand a lot when I was that age. I used to think original sin meant you had to make up a new one every time. Now, the Jewish side, of course, the worst thing about that is the food. I don't know if everybody grew up Jewish, or if you went to a Seder, but, Jewish cooking, only guilty people would eat like this. Matzahs, flat pieces of cardboard. I used to ask my mother, why do we eat like this? And she would say, tradition. This is the way we ate when the Egyptians were chasing us. Ma, it's been 5,000 years. Let the bread rise. You'd think the Pharaoh was right on our tail, We're living in New Jersey. We're not going to have to part the Hudson River to get out of here. The worst food. We used to have cockroaches in our kitchen going, "No, I'm going to grab something on the way home." Refugees would come over. They'd go, "No, we're good. Thanks." We had something last year, but as a kid, my father would tell us, if you want to grow up big and strong, leave some on your plate. I have time. Actually, that is the last thing my father would tell us, because my father grew up in the Depression. If you have parents like this, when they grew up in that era, you have to eat all the food. And I mean all the food. And what bothered me is that he would try to trick us into eating things even he wouldn't finish up. He'd come into the kitchen and say things like, "Kids, the black banana is the best one." He'd say, "Okay, Dad, you eat it. Here's a straw. It's a little mushy, See, when my mother said, "Finish your greens," it meant vegetables. When my father said, "Finish your greens," it referred to that one potato chip that had the green on the outside, which is so scary. Is that dye that got onto something else they were making, or are they all green underneath and not enough yellow paint got on that potato chip? Very cheap. We used to go to the Health Mobile for our checkups. There's a feeling of security. Guy can commit a malpractice and drive away. That's, what do I do? Chase him in a lawyer mobile? Geez. And of course, if we would complain, forget it, because all he would say was what fathers of that era say. You know, in the 30s, the whole country was in a depression. When I was a little kid, I didn't know what he was talking about. I used to think, wow, the whole country is staying in bed watching TV all day. Other countries coming by to cheer us up. You know, Canada comes down. What are you depressed about? You're an attractive country? You're well-liked around the world? Of course, whenever I'd get down to depressed, my father'd always take me aside, and he'd put his arm around me. He'd say, son, I just want you to know, life is a swirling, sucking eddy of despair, filled with small moments of false hope in a never-blackening universe. I'd say, great, Dad. If I can't have a bike, just say so. But I do love them. I always see them on the holidays. You do that? You go see your folks on the holidays? I don't know if that's a good idea, to pay a great deal of money to travel a great distance to see people who get on your nerves. I don't know if... And they do, because they do things, you know, they're married 35 years, quite an impressive record. They still do things like they throw into each other's face who they could have married. Live with it. You know, Mom could have had this oil baron, Dad could have had a millionaires. I'm always thinking, you both messed up. I could have been rich by now.
The favorite thing of mine that you said is I kid the Pope, just so you know. I kid the Pope.
Well, thank you.
Now, you kid about your dad.
You know, I tell you that, and you're over 30.
Yeah,
And, you know, the scary thing is when you're over 30 now, I go home and I talk to him, and we are agreeing on way too much. You know,
all right,
he's not getting any hipper, you know. I mean, this is the aging process. I mean, he's... You know, I talk about, you know, I think the kids are, you know, too easy, but now, you know, he thought that of me. I think that of them now. You know, I mean, there's a record that's out by the Beastie Boys.
Right.
You ever heard this record called You've Got to Fight for Your Right to Party? This is their protest song.
Right.
Not exactly blowing in the wind, is it?
Right.
I mean, you know, this poor kid, we had the racism, ecology, the Vietnam War. These kids have to fight for their right to party. We got a benefit going for these kids right now. I mean, no wonder the people in Nicaragua don't want to pattern their life after us. We don't even have the right to party.
But you kid the Beastie Boys.
Would you like to use that? Would you like to take that home?
I'd love to say I kid whatever you're going to make a joke about. I think that's very funny. Okay. Now, also, you're single. You're like me, over 30 and single. And I don't know who you're dating now, but we've been talking about it. But have you met Susan?
I wasn't watching. Have you already hit on her? Because you usually do with the guests.
No. I'm seeing somebody very nice.
Year.
I'm seeing somebody very nice. Would you like this thing out, by the way, Bill? Because you're starting to sit like Mary Hart right now. There you go. Now, how do your folks, how do they feel about you being single?
Well, you know, they're no help. I mean, it's... My father uses, talk about the 30s. He uses phrases like, why don't you bring around your best girl? Something you say to a pimp, isn't it? I mean...